Good day, guys. Today I want to look at the topic of overheating on the Golf Mark 1. We know that is also a common issue on the Golf Mark 1, and I would say also due to negligence that happens, but not always, and also maybe because of not servicing the car regularly, that happens, not checking on the cooling system. So in this video I want to give you a few pointers, a few tips just to check all the different components. So the first thing that you will check obviously is to check the level of coolant in the cooling system. You guys all know where the levels are. It's around about here in the middle, and to check if you actually have coolant in there. And when I say coolant, I mean coolant. Water is a no-no, and we all know that it causes rust. So that is one area you need to check first. Okay, correction, when I say water is a no-no, I'm not saying that you're not supposed to use water at all. What I am saying is that you have to use a mixture of coolant G12 and water, and that balance should be 40 to 60%, meaning 40% coolant and 60% water. This you can see as I'm pointing it here to this instruction here, which is found right next to the reservoir. Another thing you also need to check is the actual cap. You know, these caps can also cause you to lose pressure, so from time to time you need to check on this cap, and also maybe replace the cap together with this whole expansion tank. The next thing you need to check is the state of your hoses, your water hoses. Check them, squeeze them. If they feel crunchy inside, you know that they're sort of starting to build up like a rust inside, and check if you can see any visual signs of coolant on the ground below the car. And also check on your actual radiator. You know, a radiator after time starts aging, and you will start finding that it will leak. So also do a visual check underneath the car to see if there is any liquid lying, so that you can do the necessary replacement of the radiator. And besides checking for visual leaks, you can also do a pressure test on your radiator to see if it actually holds the pressure. Check on the fan itself, have a look at the blades and see if they are all, sometimes they break. And also what can cause overheating is a failing thermostat, which is situated here in the water pump, in this housing over here. That can get stuck in the closed position, and that can cause that the water, the hot water, does not get sent through to the radiator. And you also need to ensure that you have the correct thermostat in that housing there. It has to be the correct degrees Celsius, and that is 87 degrees Celsius on the Golf, which means that the water, the thermostat will open at that point at 87 degrees. And it's also important that your thermo switch in the radiator is the correct one. So what I'm saying is that the thermostat and the thermo switch must work closely together. It must basically be paired up. So in other words, like if the thermostat opens up at 87 degrees, then your thermo switch in the radiator will kick in the fan at 92 degrees. And that is why it's important for you, when you purchase a thermostat and a thermo switch, that you make sure that those numbers are correct. There you can see the 87 degrees stamp on the thermostat. So the other thing that can also cause the car to overheat is when the fan doesn't come on. And the reason the fan doesn't come on is because this thermo switch here activates the fan, and if that is faulty, the fan will not go on, or the fan will come on too late, or it will just become very erratic. So the best thing is to take this out and replace it with a proper one. And once again, it has to be the correct degrees Celsius that it opens, which is around 92 degrees Celsius, and that's just before boiling point. Okay, also ensure that your water pump is in good condition. because a water pump can also cause overheating issues. When it starts aging, it basically doesn't push out enough water throughout the engine, and those fins inside, little, I don't know what they call them, the little fins, they can also start wearing off, and due to rust and things like that, they can start breaking off, and that can cause a problem with circulation. And another common reason for overheating is after you've maybe done some repairs to the cooling system, like replacing the water pump or the thermostat, and putting back everything together again. People don't bleed the system, they just put everything back together. You have to bleed the cooling system to get rid of all the air pockets. Okay, guys, so that should give you an idea of what causes overheating, the common reasons of overheating on the Golf Mark 1, and I hope it will give you some kind of guidance to sort out your overheating issue. Well, I hope you enjoyed this segment and that it will help you. I want to thank you once again for watching the video and the channel. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.